What is up, guys? Rickhackis here, and this is loot update number 5. So this is going over all the loot I got. Now, it has been 2 weeks since the last loot update, and the reason being is this just seems like there isn't enough reason to go over an entire loot update in a week. There just isn't enough loot being got, so I think these are now going to be bi-weekly, so I expect that from now on. Now, interestingly enough, I just want to address some of the stuff. I made a video last night, and it was just kind of about a Templar exploit that you could do. You could push him off the edge, and I just wanted to go over some of the concerns in the comments section. So there's going to be like a semi-rant, so if you're not interested in hearing that, I'm actually just going to put, can't deal with this guy by myself, I'm just going to put in the comments, just above on the screen right now, there'll be the time that you can skip to just to the normal loot update, but I just wanted to go over some of the stuff that was in the comments. Now, firstly, there seemed to be like people were freaking out I think because it was hard. You could do this glitch in hard mode. It's not even a glitch. You literally throw grenades at the Templar and he falls off the edge. There's no cheating involved. You just throw grenades at him. That's it. And people were just kind of upset because I guess it was on hard mode. The best way to describe it is that there was a comment of someone said, "You're awarding people undeserved mythoclasts." Like, really? Undeserved mythoclast? Like, is this the Nobel Peace Prize? Like, undeserved mythic. It's a video game. I would want everyone to get mythoclasts if I was in charge. Like, obviously, okay, you should be able to have to do the hardest level content, but I'm not going to be upset if people get mythoclasts by doing somewhat of a cheese spot. Again, it's just a video game. If you have done hard mode legit, are you really so bitter that no one else can possibly do anything but do it legit? Because I did it legit and I'm so good at this game. Destiny phase. Like, I feel like that was a kind of the tone they were giving off, that they were like so good at this game that they did it legit, and how dare anyone else do any cheese spot. Well, the point of my channel is to help people out with the game, like provide tips and guides and stuff. So yeah, if there's a way to kill the boss extremely easily, that's what I'm gonna post. Like, that's just the end of it. And it's just kind of funny. I feel like posting, like, not posting, but I feel like the Joker meme where it's like post every week a way to cheese the strike boss for the Nightfall, no one cares. Post a way to cheese the Templar in the raid, everyone loses their mind. It just kind of felt that. And I think the more concerning was, at the end of the thing, I said, you better do this before it gets nerfed, unlike the bad juju, which is still not buffed. Bungie fucking assholes. And I called Bungie fucking assholes. And people were a little bit upset at that, and I kind of want to say, yeah, they felt I went a little over the line, and I'm just going to address that by saying there's no company I respected more than Bungie until this game came out, and then now there's no company I've just completely changed the paradigm and fucking hate. Like, I've never seen levels of corporate greed associated with almost any company. Like, the oil companies don't even hold a candle to what Bungie is doing right now, and it blows my mind. No matter how much evidence you provide, some people are just such fanboys that they're just never going to change. Guys, to give you an example, there is fully rendered areas, DLC areas in this game, not for the first DLC coming out in December, but for the second DLC, the House of Wolves DLC. You can get to a fallen ship that is meant to be in the House of Wolves DLC. There is not a texture out of place there, guys. They completely have done that map. That map is completed, that area is completed, and they have cut it, they have ripped it from the game to sell us back it as DLC. It's absolutely shameful. And if you want more ideas about how shameful this is, they hired, let's talk about this, like, the story in this game was shameful. It made no sense and it was terrible. And some people say, but what about the Grimoire cards? You can have Grimoire cards, you can read them, it provides more of the story, and that's correct. But I'm just going to say, they hired the guy who wrote the Grimoire cards. They hired the person who wrote all of the Grimoire cards 1 year before this game came out. This game had a 10-year development cycle, and you're telling me they hired the guy to write the Grimoires a year before it came out? What that tells me is that they knew they're ripping out so much content from the game to sell us back as DLCs that they had to cover their asses and provide a little bit more to the universe in the form of Grimoire cards, or else they would be really in trouble. And it's just such a poor performance. Now, if that's not enough evidence for you, perhaps me saying that maybe that coincides with about the same time that happened, the lead writer for Bungie quit. The lead story writer for Bungie quit the company. He worked on that game, guys, for almost 9 years, nearly a decade. He works, that's his baby, that's his company. He's worked on all the Halos. Now, you're telling me the lead writer of Bungie is going to not see the next step forward of Bungie in the gaming industry? Something happened there. You can't tell me that you worked 9 years developing a game that is going to be your company's next hurrah. You have worked so hard developing the like Halo for the company, and now you're going to quit a year before it comes out? Again, guys, something's not right. He realized that they were ripping out so much of his hard work and content and adding it as DLCs that he was so fed up that he quit the company. Okay, and this is what people we're dealing with. And I am upset that they haven't nerfed the bad juju yet, because they said they were going to nerf it within the first week of the game coming up. People were saying the bad juju just isn't performing. Like, no one uses a bad juju in any of the high level content. Like, pretty much no one. So the people who are like, oh, what's wrong with the bad juju? They're probably stuck at level 24. I've never seen anyone run the raid on hard with the bad juju. Yes, there's going to be one person who can, but there's also people who ran the raid with 3 people. So let's not go to dick measuring here. But again, they've waited a month to upgrade the bad juju. But it takes them a week to nerf the Vix meta class? On PvE, no less. I don't care about PvP. Of course you can't have a gun that has the power level of the Vex meta class on PvP. That's ridiculous. No one is arguing that. What I am arguing, though, is why would they nerf it for PvE? Because you are awarded the Vex meta class for doing the highest level content you can possibly do, the hardest content you can possibly do in the entire game, and you are awarded, maybe you have a chance to get the Vex meta class. And now it's so bad, people are dismantling it, guys. Like, that is absolutely unacceptable, and it makes me angry because I made a video 9 months before Destiny came out. 9 months! And the entire purpose of the video was saying, guys, I'm worried about Destiny. If they have a connected gun system, they're going to make I'll link it in the description if you don't believe me. They're going to make nerfs to the PvP system for guns, and it's going to affect PvE as well, and it's going to ruin the game. And it kind of is ruining the game. Like, how depressing is it that to do the hardest thing you can possibly do in the game, you are awarded something that is now so bad that people are dismantling it? And yes, they said they went overboard and they're going to buff it, but I mean, considering how long it's been since the bad juju buff, when are they going to buff the mythic class? Another month? Like, that seems ridiculous. And again, they're so quick to nerf the mythic class within a week. It's like, can you not just buff the bad juju and the thorn at the same time? Is that really too unreasonable to ask for? So yeah, I don't respect Bungie as a company. The stuff they're doing right now is absolutely ridiculous. Like how they're making it so that in the Atheon fight, the furthest 3 back people now aren't going to teleport. It's anyone teleports. That is so ridiculous. Not for me. I actually don't have a problem with that. I can do either. It'll be easy for me to go into the teleporter. It'll be easy for me to defend the teleporter. I don't care. But how, and people are going to say, like, it makes the game harder, like, it shouldn't be like that. How selfish are these people, though, that, like, for us who have already done the raid 1,000 times, of course it doesn't matter if they make it random people. I know how to do everything in the raid. I've done it so many times. But not everyone has been no-lifing the hell out of this game and has been, like, look at the armor I have. To get this raid gear, to get this helmet, you have to grind for hours getting materials just so you can immediately, so you can do the raid on hard, so you can immediately replace the stuff you grinded hours for with the raid gear and grind more hours to level up that. Like, not everyone has the time or patience to do that, and it's unfair for people who are just starting the raid and now they have to be good at both the teleportation thing and defending the portals. Like, that's just unfair and selfish of people who are so self-absorbed that they say, well, I can do it, it'd be easy for me, so let's make it harder for everyone. I just don't think that's right, and it's removing a level of strategy. Like, it was fun. I thought it was a really good idea. I honestly thought Bungie meant to do that. I thought it was so cool that you could designate a teleportation team of people specifically designed to go and kill the oracles really fast, and then have, like, maybe the titans, kind of the harder, heavy hitting guys outside the portals defending it so you can get out. Like, that was such a cool team dynamic and strategy of people's weaknesses making up for other people's strengths that they're removing from the game. And it just makes no sense. So again, I don't respect a company that does that. I don't respect a company that rips apart their own game to resell us that content as DLC. So yeah, I'm going to be a little jaded against them. And for the people who say, why don't you just play something else? I honestly wish I could. I wish The Division was out right now so I could play it, but I'm still having a decent amount of fun. Like, I'm not saying this game is the worst thing ever made, but, like, honestly, I think that the fact that I'm providing criticism is something you should be looking for in a commentator. Do you want someone just absolutely fawning over the game and not providing any criticism whatsoever? I don't think so. How are you going to hold that person accountable? Like, I hold Bungie accountable for the shit they pull. If they do something stupid, I'm going to let you guys know. So that's kind of the end of the rant. Let's go over the loot. I have been a little bit fortunate recently. Doing the raid on hard has netted me some decent stuff. Yes, I got this helmet. Definitely a cool looking helmet. The two abilities here are really awesome. Killing a Vex with a critical hit has a chance to spawn an orb. Obviously very, very good. Anything spawning extra orbs light is amazing. And then killing effects with melee attack, obviously, you're just never going to level it up because you're really not doing too much close range meleeing when you're doing the higher level Vault of Glass. Absolutely not. It seems like it is just on the raid that these are active. If it isn't, it's a very, very small chance. Now, I did also buy this Ephenephage, or whatever this is called, the Symbiote. Now, because it's just so useful to have another golden gun shot. It's just extremely useful, but I just haven't leveled it up yet because I haven't been lucky enough to be awarded with the raid chest. So I can only get to 30 by having the gear I have on right now, fully leveled up Alpha Loopy. That's also a very useful chest. It's going to be hard getting rid of it. Now, also in terms of guns, this has been trying to max out, just got a far more helium filaments to get this maxed out, but this is a very useful gun against Praetorians because it does void damage. It lowers their shield extremely fast, and also having the just extra damage against oracles. The nerf to assault rifles did hurt this gun a little bit, but it's still useful nonetheless. Now, of course, I bought the Icebreaker. Anyone bought the Icebreaker. Love this gun. Such a useful gun to constantly have ammo. Yes, the recharge can be a problem in some scenarios, but all around it's just so damn useful. Now, taking this off, got a fully leveled up Prettiest Revenge, which is very good. I was awarded the Praetorian Foil. Now, this I'm kind of working on leveling up, but again, it's just so many things I'm trying to level up, and I'm also really kind of focusing on, like, my main raid stuff. I run the epilogue and this launcher. I would really would like the Galahorn. It just hasn't been available to me. And then I'll run the Icebreaker, because it's just so good in so many scenarios. So those are the kind of 3 things I'm really working on leveling up, trying to get to 300. And but other than that, I was lucky enough to from the raid chest on hard, I was awarded with the Hawkmoon. You guys have probably already seen the video specifically dedicated to this. This is just such a fantastic gun. I'm trying to get it to 300 so I can maybe do the raid on hard. I feel like if I can one-shot normal hobgoblins, I know Axis hobgoblins I probably won't be able to one-shot, but if I can one-shot normal hobgoblins and goblins, I think this would be extremely useful in the raid, and in fact would probably replace the epilogue that I have been using, just because just one-shotting everyone is just like so good. Now obviously these are extremely lower level guys, but it's just such a useful thing. And hand cannons are people who have maxed out their hand cannons, they often say they're quite good on the raid on hard. So I am trying, it just takes so long to level up golds, and I'm splitting it across different guns, trying to show stuff off to you guys, so it's just like, just kind of falls by the wayside. Also was awarded this Universal Remote. This is a very fun gun to use. Like this whole thing where range and percent, I should say the going back to the Hawkmoon, it has a thing where 3 out of the 13 bullets in the magazine do considerable bonus damage, which is noticeable, but probably could be better. Universal Remote, though, where you get a large bonus from aiming down sights, this is actually one of the more noticeable things. Like, definitely, like, before you get it, you notice the difference of, like, just one-shotting people from decently far away. Now, but when I say decently far, it's nowhere, you're never going to shoot someone with this and kill them and say, wow, that is so insane for a shotgun. All of the ranges you're going to be killing people is going to be, reasonable. It's very good, and I like using this shotgun, but it's simply not practical. People are saying this kind of sucks. I don't think so. It's very fun to use, to have a shotgun as a primary. You really don't have to worry about ammo too much, even though you only have 20 rounds backup. You really, since you get a lot of primary ammo, you don't have to worry about it, and it's just fun. Like, that's how I would describe it. It's not practical. I'm not going to be running the raid on hard with it, but it is very fun. Now, talking about the Praetorian Foil, I'm just going to find some guys so I can kill it. This, it kind of charges up for longer than I would want. Like, it takes a while to charge up compared to, again, what I would want. However, it does have an upgrade available to it that makes it recharge quicker. So So I'm definitely going to be putting that on. That seems very, very useful. 5 rounds is not the best I've ever seen, but not unreasonable, and it's just a, you know, a good thing altogether. Something kind of funny I noticed is that when you aim down sights, if you see the little things sticking up at the front of the gun, they actually kind of disappear, and I've tried every single sight, I just can't see them. I think they just legitimately disappear when you aim down sights, which is kind of weird. But that is pretty much it for the noticeable loot. I have gotten some more purples, but I'm just like never gonna use them. I have, you know, for sniper rifles, Icebreaker or Prettiest Revenge. This is just a phenomenally good gun. Having the whatever it's called, Field Scout for it does just amazing damage, having 6 rounds, and like you'll see me, I'll try to find maybe someone I can shoot with it. You'll see, like, it just, there's no recoil. There's no recoil to this thing compared to the Icebreaker. The Icebreaker recoils like crazy. Now, of course, like, if the Icebreaker didn't recoil, it'd be the most overpowered thing in a game, even more. So, of course, it's gonna recoil a little bit. But Prettiest Revenge, of course, you have to worry about ammo, but it just doesn't recoil, which is just so nice. And I will warn you guys though, I got a rocket launcher. Okay, and I got a rocket launcher, and it had the upgrade for triple tube or whatever, so it can have 3 rounds in the magazine. Great, sounds good. And just like this Prettiest Revenge, it had Field Scout. So I'm thinking, hold on, you have Field Scout, so, and triple tube, like, triple tube was the first little upgrade you get, so I was like, what the heck is the magazine gonna be? 5, 6? Because this Prettiest Revenge right here, this went from 4 rounds to 6 rounds when you went on Field Scout. So, like, the worst thing I was expecting for this rocket launcher was it already has 3, it's probably going to go to 4 rounds in a magazine, and then what is the backup ammo going to go to? Because this Prettiest Revenge went from like 18 to like 22 or something for backup rounds, so it's just like a really noticeable increase. So I leveled up this rocket launcher, can't wait to see what it is, and before I put on Field Scout, I had 3 rounds in the magazine, I had 5 rounds in backup for a total of 8 rounds. I unlocked Field Scout, I put it on, and then I had 3 rounds in the magazine and 5 rounds in backup for a total of 8. Yes, no change whatsoever. So please, if you see that, don't fall for the same thing I fell for. It does absolutely nothing, which is really disappointing, but you're definitely not going to want to waste. I wasted a lot of time and materials upgrading that rocket launcher just to find out it had absolutely nowhere near what I was expecting for magazine size or capacity. So that's pretty much it for this loot update. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe for more Destiny content. And as always, have a good day.